app, powered by iSpeech.
Hello. Well, mate.
What is this? Hello.
Hello. I don't know what's going on. Looks like we got... The stream is back? It just says stand by, so I don't know what's happening here. All my controls are grayed out and can't do anything. It just says please stand by, so I guess we're gonna stand by and see if something happens. I don't know. It looks cool today. Thank you. I didn't do any of this. This is just what popped up when it said I got that secret message where it said to crack open my laptop today. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm just as in the dark as everyone else about what's happening to the stream. I have no idea. I'm hoping that we'll find something out if we wait a little bit, because it still says secret message here. So that must mean there's another secret message coming. That's the best I can do. If you remember the end of the last episode, the 50th episode, we got an angry message from Jeff Bezos, and he said that he was taking the stream over. And it was like, what? It was like a crazy ending to the show, and I was just like shocked. I couldn't believe it. Didn't even think he watched the show. And then I get this message the other day with this crazy stuff going on, and it had this cryptic coded message that I didn't understand at all about the snake and coming home and some other stuff. Very weird. But it looks like the stream is on, so we're gonna see if maybe a secret message comes up or something happens. We're just gonna wait and see. Play the old wait and see kind of game. So, hope everyone's having a good Sunday. I'm having a normal one over here. I've got my stream was hijacked, and now I'm just trying to see if it's going to come back online. Just waiting around. Okay, the secret message, I've got it written down here, said something about a snake has made you the pawn, and we wait for the final move. Open your laptop 2 days from now, which is today, and everything will be back to normal or something. This doesn't seem normal to me. This is weird. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what is going on. What the frick? What? What, bro? I can't even do my sound alerts or my sound. I can do the sound alerts. I can't do the soundboard. I'm stuck. Everything's locked out. I'm all locked out. What, bro? Maybe we'll get to do a show today. I don't know. I'm hoping that the show is back. Hoping that I get my show back. This music's kind of sad. Doesn't bode well for what's happening next. I'm not even in control of the music either. The music is just playing right now. It's weird. Weird. Should be allowed to do sound alerts. I hope so. Let's see. I'm waiting around. Normally this is when the stream would start up. So I don't know what's happening here. Oh, something is starting to change here. Looks like some of the video is changing. Oh, something. What is this? What is this? We are anonymous. What? Anonymous? The hacker guys? Wait, is that who's in the video? What the heck? Oh, no. What's happening? We are anonymous. There's a little question mark. Whoa! And the Matrix. And the Matrix is involved too. Expect us. I was not expecting this today. What is happening?
This is a message from _. This is the hacker group Anonymous. Much has happened the last few days.
Huh?
We received word last Monday night that Jeff Bezos himself had ordered your stream to be stolen in a brazen act of internet espionage.
Whoa.
However, through the very brave work of one of our best agents, we have rescued your stream from the clutches of Jeff Bezos.
That's good.
This agent was one of our incognito sleeper agents. He helped provide the coordinates of your stream on the Twitch Court servers.
Wow.
You may know this man as Mr. Rude Guy.
What?
We are working on a covert mission to rescue your friend from the clutches of the evil Twitch Court.
What the hell?
For now, this is all we can reveal at the moment. Anonymous, out.
Anonymous? What? Oh my god, Mr. Rude Guy is a sleeper agent for the freaking Anonymous. This is crazy. So what? I'm barely following this, and let's see if our show's gonna come back. Here we go. There's the title screen, and okay, I guess the show is back. Well, that's good. It sounded like their sleeper agent was back, but this isn't the normal music. This is some different kind of music. What the heck is going on? Usually it played as a different song. I guess we have to do this song now. It says the cool stream, so I guess the show is back, baby. That's right, it's the cool stream. We're back from the evil clutches of Jeff Bezos. Returns the show that you know and love. That's right, it's the cool stream, baby. We don't know what happened to Mr. Rude Guy and Anonymous. It sounded like he was a sleeper agent acting on behalf of the secret hacker guys, Anonymous, but he helped save our stream somehow. So now it's back. Now the cool stream is back, baby, and better than ever. We don't know what happened, but we're back, so that's good. And we got this crazy cool logo. Wow. It's like the new and improved. It's like the stream is new and improved. That's cool. Well, it's time to do another show. I'm excited that the stream is back now, that all has been revealed. Everything should be back to normal, and we can do another show. Thanks to Jeff Bezos for giving back our stream, and thanks to Anonymous. And I hope I've got to hear a transcript they sent over from Anonymous, so maybe I can follow up. It's kind of hard to understand what they were saying, but something about Mr. Rude Guy being a hacker agent for the Anonymous group. Well, all right, it's the cool stream. It's back. I don't know how to. This is a different song than we used to do. But I don't know what else to do. I guess I'll just go with it. I'll just go with the flow. So everybody sit back, relax, get your laptops open. Open up the Twitch app. Because now we're back online, baby. The cool stream is back. We did 50 episodes, and our stream was hijacked by Jeff Bezos. But now, thanks to the hacker group Anonymous and their sleeper agent, Mr. Rude Guy, apparently, what the heck was that guy up to? He was doing hacking this whole time. But I guess he helped save our stream from Jeff Bezos. That's pretty cool. Kind of an interesting cast of characters here. Anyway, wow. I'd love to know more about what happened in the meantime of when the stream was stolen and now it being back and all that kind of stuff. Good song. I like this song too. This is cool. This is a different vibe from the usual cool stream that we had from our first 50 episodes. It's the cool stream. All right. Well, it looks like we're going to do an episode, so that's good. And we're not going to do that song again. But now I have control over the music and stuff, in case anybody was wondering about that. And I've got all my sounds and stuff too. So we're going to do another... We need to do another gasp of what we heard. That's what I was doing when I heard that, when I was talking about the sleeker agents. Oh my gosh, what a whirlwind of weirdness. Did everyone catch that? Everyone catch what happened? Let's see. I got an email from the hacker group Anonymous, the transcript of what the guy said. He said, the hacker group, a lot of stuff happened. Okay. Received word that Jeff Bezos himself had ordered your stream to be stolen. Okay. In a brazen act of internet espionage. Okay. That checks out. I remember that. Through the very brave work of one of our best agents, we have received your stream from the clutches of Jeff Bezos. The agent was one of our incognito sleeper agents. He helped provide the coordinates of your stream on the Twitch Corp servers. Whoa! And you may know this man as Mr. Rude Guy. What? Mr. Rude Guy was a sleeper agent for the hacker group Anonymous, and he helped get our stream back from the Twitch Corp servers. Holy crap, we're working on a covert mission to rescue your friend from the clutches of the evil Twitch Corp. This is all we can reveal at the moment. Oh my god. I hope more will be revealed, and I hope that Mr. Rude Guy's okay. And is that even his real name? I don't know. And it looks like our stream has changed a little bit here. It says the Cool Stream 2.0. So this is the all-new Cool Stream. That's cool. So it looks like it underwent some changes while it was on the servers. Some things changed after it was extracted from the Twitch Corp servers. Interesting. So this is the all-new Cool Stream. It went through a transmogrification metamorphosis when it was being extracted, and now it's the Cool Stream 2.0. All right. We'll get a clap for that. This is cool. I like this. I didn't have to do any work, and my background has changed, and I got some new music and a new logo and all this crazy stuff. And now it's the Cool Stream 2.0. And it looks like we're going to do a show about the Mandela effect. Whoa! What the heck is that? I feel like I don't know what's going on anymore. I don't know what to believe. And I think maybe that has something to do with the Mandela effect, and we're going to find out what that means. Whew, this is some weird stuff. This is a weird show. Normally we don't really start off with any of this kind of drama. We just kind of get straight into it. But today, it's a little bit different, because it's the Cool Stream 2.0 now. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed the 50th episode that we did last week. It was a lot of fun. It was about all kinds of craziness. And you can go back and watch that on twitch.tv now, because our stream is back. It's a lot of fun. But now we're back doing the Cool Stream 2.0, and today it's all about the Mandela effect. What the heck is that? MandelaEffect.com. Well, the best way to figure out what stuff is, if I've learned one thing through doing 50 episodes of the Cool Stream, is that you must watch a video to figure it out. Congrats on the big 5-0. Thanks, Beer Horse. And we have a sound for that. I forgot about that.
Thank you, Beer Horse.
Let's check out. We're going to learn a little bit, and we're over the hill now. We're going to learn a little bit about the Mandela effect, and maybe that has something to do with what happened to our stream. But now it's back, baby. This is from the Paranormal Scholar. It's a good thing I had this show ready.
Told you, everything you know is a lie.
Sounds about right to me.
This is a line made famous by the Matrix film.
The Matrix?
But what if
the
I
freaking
told
Matrix?
you that line was never actually said in
What?
the movie?
What?
Despite some arguing that this line originated in 2011, over a decade after The Matrix was released, many remain utterly convinced that it was said by the character Morpheus in the original film. This is a Mandela effect in action.
Oh, frick,
Before
mate.
we delve too deep into explaining the Mandela effect, I urge you to go and watch my previous videos showcasing 3 worthy examples
Mind
of the Mandela
blown.
effect, if you have not done so already.
Well, I haven't done that. We're going to
This
skip watching
phenomenon
that for now.
is truly bizarre.
Have that one
The
pulled up.
concept that so
It's truly
many
bizarre and
unconnected
truly
people,
weird.
strangers, can remember a non-existent event so identical to one another. First, it is necessary to clarify what the Mandela effect, if real,
What the
suggests.
frick is this?
It is, in essence, an effect without
effect.
a cause.
Oh,
After
what?
all, how can a memory be remembered when there was nothing to cause that memory to form in the first place? It defies
know.
our every perception of reality
Defies
to
all
merely
logic
even
and
entertain
explanation.
the notion that such a fundamental aspect of our knowledge, a clearly recalled memory, is, in fact, not true.
Whoa.
It is simple, then, to dismiss all Mandela effects as confabulations, a disturbance of memory, produced by
Disturbance of the
unconscious
force.
fabrication or misinterpretation of oneself or the world.
This
Yet,
is freaky.
this is a frustrating and reductionist explanation, for there are so many thousands of people who remember the comedian Sinbad starring in a genie movie, who swear to have seen Nelson Mandela's funeral on television before it happened, who recall Da Vinci's painting of the Last Supper having goblets in it.
Who swear that they saw Jesus at the Last Supper. I swear he was there. This is strange. So some of this sounds familiar. The guy in the movie, Shazam?
And many others.
I've heard about that on the internet.
Materialistic explanations, limited to our current understanding of the world around us, serve as blanket assertions. Such sweeping claims are always dangerous to make. Whilst they may at times be correct, more often than not, the stance of "it cannot be because it cannot" lacks
cannot
detailed
be.
explanation beyond an assertion, thus collapsing any further potential discussion. Such an explanation, then, does not follow the standards of appropriate scientific inquiry into a given phenomenon. As
Okay.
mentioned before, it is almost impossible to explain the Mandela effect in terms of cause and effect. So, understandably, it's safer.
Because you can't explain it. Because it's an effect without a cause. Whoa. Did I just blow your mind? But if anyone says it's not true, well, that's not science, folks. We need to investigate what's going on with these Mandela effects, and maybe what happened to my stream was a Mandela effect. Perhaps.
And easier to dismiss it
Wow.
altogether. If one
Wow.
is determined to keep
Thanks,
to the
Talented
material
Tinsel,
universe as
for
we know
hosting.
it, there is one viable explanation.
The cool stream
However,
is back.
It does involve aliens.
It's the cool stream too. Whoa, it involves
Many
aliens.
people
Hold
who
on.
claim to be alien
Hold on a second.
abductees report being shown images and even films that never existed
films?
whilst on board alien
Whilst on
spacecraft.
board.
Could Mandela effects be the suppressed memories of possible abductees of their time on board an alien spacecraft?
So the abductees, the alien abductees, got to go watch some screener films of movies that had never been made. That sounds cool. That sounds like something I'd like to do. I'd like to check out. I get abducted and say, "Can you show me the next M. Night Shyamalan movie or the next Ari Aster film? I'd like to see what what those two are up to, what kind of movies they're doing in 2021 in the future, and I'll see it before everybody else, and then I'll spoil it for everybody. That would be crazy. Clips of the Berenstain Bears. Now that's a Mandela effect. So really, maybe I do know something about this. Some of these memories are flooding back. It's all coming back
Whilst
to
an
me now.
extraterrestrial explanation does provide a cause to the effect, it does fall into the inevitable trap of being indefensible due to lack of precise, non-testimonial evidence.
Okay.
However, if we open ourselves up to what is scientifically viable, the interference of time travelers could be a potential explanation for the Mandela effect. Indeed, scientists have suggested that people can travel back in time through a traversable wormhole.
Through the wormhole.
Such wormholes, in theory, would bend space and time, allowing for a person to go back in time. Thereby, Mandela effects could be caused either directly or indirectly by time travelers. Indirectly being an example.
Remember that we did a movie. We didn't do a movie. We did an episode about a time traveler and his name. And if anyone can remember his name, remember that? You remember that? I'm gonna look it up real quick. What was that guy's name? The famous time traveler. Let's go back. Let's go way back. And that was actually on the stream, the famous stream. That was John Titor was his name. And I believe that was the stream in which Mr. Rude Guy hacked our show, and we had to do the Wheel of Streams in order to get our show back. So that's kind of an interesting Mandela effect that this time traveler stuff came up. And then I was thinking, and we got a firmware update. We're going to do that later. John Titor, he was a time traveler, so maybe he caused the whole freaking Mandela effect to go crazy. Bingus O'Jerry.
Of a
I
butterfly
don't like
effect.
this freaking
These
video is
changes,
stupid.
whilst forgotten by
Whilst.
the
She
majority
needs to
of
stop
the
saying that. I don't like that. Whilst. This is something that British people say. All right, what are some Mandela effects? Kaylee mentioned the Berenstain Bears, and they're a stain on our great society, a stain on all things we know. Of course, the Mandela effect. Where did it come from? This is the original Mandela effect website. That's right. So it came from this lady, and see, I pretended to not know anything about this. This is kind of how I have to play it up here. I don't know anything about this, but actually, I do know this is the first ever original Mandela effect website. That's right. The creator, Fiona Broom, she launched the site in 2009 to discuss memories that didn't seem to match documented history. For now, this website serves as an archives documenting how the Mandela effect conversations began. Wow. Most popular topics: Forrest Gump, 51 or 52 states, Berenstain or Berenstain Bears, Looney Tunes or Looney Tunes. Okay, and this is what started it all. The most famous Mandela effect, the titular Mandela effect. Nelson Mandela died in prison? What? This was the original post that launched this website. However, if you're new to the website, remember that this site includes many other articles. Okay? Nelson Mandela died in prison, long before his loss on December 5th, 2013. Many people, perhaps thousands, seem to believe that. That's where the title of this website, The Mandela Effect, came from. See, I thought Mandela had died in prison. I thought I remembered it clearly, complete with news clips of his funeral, the mourning in South Africa, some rioting in cities, and the heartfelt speech by his widow. Then I found out he was still alive. What? And it doesn't say when she thought that they died. That would be important to kind of get to the root of where this false memory comes from. My reaction was sensible. Oh, I must have misunderstood something on the news. I didn't think about it again for many years until, in the VIP suite at Dragon Con, a member of security, parentheses, quotation marks, shadow, casually mentioned that many people remember when Nelson Mandela died in prison. That caught my attention in a hurry. One thing led to another, and I discovered a large community of people who remember the name Mandela, remember the same Mandela history that I recall. Others have similar false memories. One of the most recent and prevalent is the death of Billy Graham. Though some claim that people are confusing that with Mr. Graham's retirement, or perhaps the televised funeral of Mr. Graham's wife. Those clearly remember the events disagree heartily. Billy Graham died in February 2018. Rest in peace. Love the idea that Nelson Mandela died in prison was somehow still an internationally famous figure. He led a long life. I don't have it pulled up here, but I do admit that I did some research and I did read a little bit more about this. Of course, our favorite website, the Rational Wiki, has an entry about this and says that perhaps people are remembering another famous South African civil rights activist, and I'm going to have to Google this real quick to make sure I do not say the wrong thing. Steve Biko. He was an anti-apartheid activist in the late 60s and 70s, and that he did pass away. And that's maybe what people remember, is this other guy. So, and I don't really know anything about that, but I just thought I would bring it up. However, it's not just deaths. People have told me about a variety of odd conflicts between their vivid memories and the world they're currently living in. During DragonCon 2010, someone insisted that he remembered a Star Trek episode that, according to one star of the show, was never filmed. Wow! The person who remembered the alternate episode wasn't weird or wild-eyed. He was a very normal person, and only referenced the episode as part of a routine conversation. I was there when he heard that the episode never existed. He was stunned and quickly tried to find a logical explanation for his faulty memory. Another quirky false memory involves the preview and pre-release of the sequel to the movie Avatar. DragonCon, that's where you get all your breaking news about things, misremembered Star Trek episodes. So they thought that there was a pre-release of the sequel of Avatar 2, and it sounded like they must have been abducted onto a spaceship and were shown a screener for Avatar 2 by the blue people. Weird. These aren't simple errors in memory. They seem to be fully constructed incidents or sequential events from the past. They exceed the normal range of forgetfulness. Now, I'm seeming to remember a memory way back in my childhood days. I remember my sibling and I got into an argument about which person ordered the peanut butter pie at Shoney's. I think I was like maybe 5 or 6 years old, and I was like, no, I ordered the pie. And then he was like, no, I did. Remember, I ordered the peanut butter pie at Shoney's. We had a Mandela effect and couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. Both of us thought we ordered the peanut butter pie. So that's my personal memory of Mandela effect. And it's kind of a weird thing to call. It's kind of a weird thing, this Mandela effect. Even stranger, other people have identical memories. This website and my upcoming book explore the possibilities of parallel realities, quantum science, real-life sliders experience, like the show, and alternate history. So who ordered the pie? I don't know. We've never managed to get to the bottom of that Mandela effect, is who actually ordered the peanut butter pie at Shoney's back in 1998 or whatever it was. 1995. I'll have to ask my sibling. My brother. If you believe that Nelson Mandela died in prison, Portillo's and garlic bread debacle. Anyone have any Mandela effect memories they're holding out on here? Because mine is not very interesting, and it's just something that popped into my head. I did one time remember a weird TV show that I was like, what the heck? It was the craziest, weirdest sci-fi show with these teenagers, and they would go down the slide into an underground spaceship, and I was like, wow, that show was weird, and I don't remember what it was called, and it was like a weird dream, and then I just looked it up one day, and it was The Tomorrow People, which is like a British science fiction show for kids. And so it wasn't a Mandela effect. It was just a weird show that was on Nickelodeon one day. And I just had to wait until the internet existed so I can Google it and find out what it was called. Anyway, so those are my two Mandela effects. The peanut butter pie and the tomorrow people. Here we go. So this person remembers Nelson Mandela dying in prison. He was in prison for a long time, but he got out. Included in this memory are the funeral snippets on TV and a legal flap over book rights involving his widow. What? I also remember that David Soul of the 70s, Starsky and Hutch, committing suicide, oh no, on or near Christmas because he was despondent over his wife's cancer. Even news reports of relatives and police discovering his body underneath the Christmas tree. Good Lord. You can imagine myself and my wife's reaction when we saw David Soul make an appearance as a cameo in the remake of a Starsky and Hutch movie. We sat in silence and stunned by the revelation that Mr. Soul was indeed alive. Do you feel that these so-called false memories might just be a shadow effect or bleed through of events in a parallel universe? Jesus, I think the shadow or bleed through effect is possible. The possibility of a sliders effect. Now this is like a TV show of traveling through dimensions and stuff. And going through another dimension, and then you look like somebody else in history, I think is what the premise of Sliders was. It's a pretty good show. And that guy has a daytime talk show now. What's his name? Jerry McConnell. Okay, the Sliders effect, as is Fred Allen Wolf's speculation about experiences who seem to be asleep. Okay, so you see some of this stuff in your sleep. Something's going on. I recall the legal flap. Never heard of that phrase. It's really weird as I remember the Mandela effect being called the Elon Musk effect after a famous advocate for white civil rights in South Africa. I never heard of Mandela until recently. Okay. Evidence is growing. Thanks, Fiona. Here's Robert Crowder. Oh my god. I could just do the whole episode reading everyone's comments on this. 500. So go check that out, MandelaEffect.com. There's a whole bunch of these damn things. Let's watch another video. I didn't really enjoy this one. Explaining the Mandela effect. Prepare to have your brain scrambled. Prepare to have your brain scrambled. Let's check this one out. Scare me. I'm scared. Scared.
We are in an age where memories are everything. People are constantly taking photos to remember who they were there with, what they were doing, and what they were thinking.
Selfie sticks.
And it's only been recently in which a phenomenon known as the Mandela effect has gained media and public attention that our memories could be wrong.
Memories could be wrong.
According to the Know Your Meme website, the Mandela effect is a theory of parallel universes based on the idea that large groups of people have similar alternative memories about past events. Now, of course, the name of this phenomenon wasn't created by Nelson Mandela at all, but it did heavily involve his death.
He is.
In the year 2010, in a multi-genre convention in North America, Fiona
Dragon Con,
discovered that many people around her, when questioned about the death of Nelson Mandela,
this is where it all started.
Died in the early 1990s, when in fact he was still alive. Despite this, the Mandela effect at this time had only a small following, but this all changed in 2012.
YouTube was invented.
An online blogger as well, showed interest in the Mandela effect and shared his ideas on the subreddit after realizing that since he was a child, he had been spelling the Bernstein Bears wrong, spelling it as S-T-E-N. From this post, hundreds of thousands of people spoke up as well to say that they too thought that Bernstein was spelled as S-P-E-I-N. This example, among many others, have been...
Alright, we got a subscription here from Smittenheimer. Subscribe for 3 months. Thanks for the subscription. He says getting the impression conventions are for freaks. That's right. Dragon Con is where it all started. The famous con we all know and love.
Why the Mandela effect is grown so heavily. However, is the Mandela effect actually real?
I'm scared. Wow.
The only example of the Mandela effect that I can personally relate to is the product Febreze, of which I believe that it did have double E's. I pondered on the idea that we may be in a parallel universe, but I did conclude that there was a more down-to-earth answer. Looking at the final part of the advert, you perfectly see that there is only one E on the packaging. So why did I and many other people assume that there were two? Firstly, listening as to how the narrator says the brand,
Wash it with Febreze.
You may affiliate Febreze like this because that's how it sounds. So it's perfectly understandable remembering Febreze with two E's. Okay. If I were to ask you what the...
That's how you spell breeze, is with two E's. It actually makes perfect sense that you would confuse that, and it's similar to the Berenstain Bears explanation. And of course, let's go ahead and jump to that, because that's a famous one that everyone knows and loves. And let's see if I've got it here. I've got a whole bunch of weird ones. Berenstain or Berenstain? And we're back to MandelaEffect.com. Many people who visit Mandela Effect website have fond memories of the Berenstain Bears books. They read them constantly as children. They might even still read them today, or family members read them aloud. It's a cherished childhood memory. However, the books in this time stream are Berenstain Bears. A, not E, in last syllable. It's not what most visitors seem to remember. Visitors to this dimension. The following are among the many memories people have shared, sometimes as part of longer comments. The vast majority recall the books as Berenstain Bears. I too clearly remember it as Berenstain, even though I never read the books. Okay, so if you've never had a book, and I think it's a fairly simple explanation, is that no one ever read these books. No one was out buying Berenstain Bears books when they were kids. This was something that was in your teacher's classroom, and they would say, okay, kids, come on, gather around. We're going to read some Berenstain Bears, because they didn't know what the hell it was. They were just like, oh, this stupid book about these furry bear people doing crap. I don't care what it's called. Just trying to get these kids to shut the hell up and stop smacking and beating each other up and throwing crap. Sit down, kids. We're going to read the Berenstain Bears. No one was out going to the bookstore asking for the Berenstain Bears and someone going, but it doesn't look like we have that in stock, but we do have the Berenstain Bears. And then they would say, oh, wow, it's actually just different. Berenstain Bears. I liked it too, and I hate these Berenstain Bears. They have the stain of the time warp all over them. They were part of advertisements for Cedar Point. What was that? Cedar Nut? I remember the books, and there was a cartoon show. But that happened after the time stream slip or something. I don't know. Let's see. I just saw that today, and it blew my mind. I was a meticulous spelling nerd as a child. I have zero doubt that the books the kids were reading were about the Berenstain Bears. I tried to research the Library of Congress and trademark info today to see if maybe there had been, at some point, been a changeover due to multiple parties using variations of the name. Nope, the official records state that the series was always Berenstain, after the very real last names of the authors, Berenstain. Okay, so this is not really... I feel like that's kind of open and shut case, no pun intended, about these books, that we've just been pronouncing their names wrong. And well, as it turns out, and here we have I don't know what this particular website is, if it's some kind of right-wing... The National Post sounds like some kind of right-wing newspaper. I don't really know, never heard of it. But National Post, Jake Edmiston spoke with Michael Berenstain. Don't be ridiculous. And this is actually the offspring, the Berenstain. After noticing the same name, after noticing that the name of a series of children's books isn't spelled the way they remember, some Berenstain Bear readers are grappling with the notion that perhaps they're living in a parallel universe. Nudged along the way by a slew of tweets by rapper LP, a years-old conspiracy theory reemerged this month, claiming that history had been retroactively changed. It's a big Canadian newspaper, but yes, it's right-wing rag. Okay. I just assume anything within that with a name like that is something. But anyway, this is all about Berenstain Bears. Nothing political. We don't get political on the show. We haven't done multiple episodes about Trump. What was this guy up to? All right, and what does he think about Berenstain? You get to the bottom of this. So, he's asking the son, Michael Berenstain, first tell me how you pronounce your last name. It's Berenstain, like coffee stain or jello stain, or wine stain, or whatever you want, or Weinstein. You're absolutely sure? It's going to be satirical? And now I'm thinking this is all made up, because this guy's saying, is this going to be like a satirical interview? Or are we doing a straight interview? And he's getting ready to walk out of this thing. So get the frick out of here with this. Just kidding. That's how you pronounce it, but this isn't the first time this has come up. And he says, well, actually, the earliest I know about it is in my mother and father's autobiography, where my dad wrote a section about when he was in elementary school. His elementary school teacher said that his name was spelled incorrectly, and that she was changing it to Berenstain, and that she wouldn't recognize the spelling of his name in her class because there was no such name. Good Lord. That sounds traumatizing as a kid to be like, no. And if someone did that today, good Lord, would they be all over Twitter? They'd be getting dragged left and right, saying that your name isn't real and that we're going to spell it different now. This poor guy, back in the 50s, they could do whatever they wanted. So it goes back pretty far. When I was a kid growing up, nobody pronounced it correctly. Never even tried to get people to pronounce it correctly. They always said Berenstain or Bernstein. Bernstein. That's even different. Feel the Bernstein. I never thought about it much at the time. I just figured that, people pronounce things incorrectly, and that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. It says, how do you react to the thinking that the name was somehow changed? People will leave some really weird things. I'll say, of course, the question I come up with is, well, does this include my grandparents' birth certificates and things? Did the name change on them? On my father's draft records from World War II? Did that get changed there too? I mean, what happened here? Does my birth certificate with the name spelled with an A magically get changed in some alternate reality? No. How did the Berenstain name come to be? Your website mentions the spelling was an immigration officer's attempt at phonetically spelling an accented version of the traditional Jewish name Bernstein. They were Ukrainian Jews who immigrated to the U.S. for fleeing the persecution, and they pronounced the name with a Slavic-colored pronunciation. They pronounced it something like... and something like this, and you can read that there. Bernstein. Family tradition, and they're from the Ukraine, so it could be something completely different that these American guys would have no idea. Family tradition was simply that Berenstain was an attempt to phonetically spell that particular pronunciation of the name. Interesting. It's just silly. It's freaking weird. So we got to the bottom of that one, and that's kind of what we do is we disprove all of the crazy stuff. We go down the checklist and say, nope, you're wrong, and we're right. So what are some more?
Hi, welcome to Paranormal Captivity. It's come to my attention that there are a whole lot more Mandela effects that I wasn't aware of.
Crap.
I'm going to tell you about them, and hopefully freak some of you out, because some of these have really blown my mind.
And what really is going on here is when you go onto YouTube and you start looking this stuff up, it's just become a meme, and so now everyone, to get their clicks and to get their views, they just come up and they create all this new stuff. You'll find all these videos that are like new Mandela effects for 2019, and every other week someone's trying to find a new Mandela effect so they can have a video that gets a lot of views. I think that's what's happening.
So we're all aware of the Berenstain Bears one, Berenstain being correct somehow, and the death of Nelson Mandela, which people remember happening much earlier than when it actually occurred. Here are a few that I've just heard about recently, one of which is the show Sex and the City. Never seen it myself, but of course I've heard about it and seen it marketed everywhere. Did you know that it's actually Sex and the City? A lot of people remember this title incorrectly. Interview with a Vampire. That is how they remember it. Interview with a Vampire. The The actual title is Interview with the Vampire.
What?
That's how I'd always remembered it, was with the. But apparently this is a huge Mandela effect, and a lot of people remember it as A. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood is an amazing show, and he was a wonderful human being. Think about the theme song. You got it? It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. It's not in the neighborhood. It's in this neighborhood. That doesn't sound right to me at all, and it really freaks me out. Eli Whitney. When I say that name, you probably think, the guy who invented the cotton gin. I picture Eli Whitney as an old white guy. But apparently a bunch of people remember learning about Eli Whitney being a very famous black inventor for that time frame, and remember seeing him in textbooks and why it was important that he was a black inventor for that time. The scene in Snow White.
This couldn't be just simple mistakes here. There's people who don't pay attention in history class. Because I knew that I went to a freaking public school. I knew that Nelson Mandela was still alive. Come on now. I mean, sometimes you forget this stuff. Sometimes there are all kinds of, you think of some of these old actor guys and you think, that guy's been dead for years just because they're old as hell. There's probably billions of people like this. Are these dumbos thinking of George Washington Carver? Sounds like it. I guess this is pretty weird. I don't know what's...
Hello.
Whoa. What the heck? What was that?
When the queen conjures up her mirror to be able to tell her who's the hottest in the land, everybody knows that when it's quoted,
what the heck is this?
It's mirror, mirror.
What is this thing popping up here? What is this weird face? What's going on?
Where am I?
Well, I'm trying to do a show. What's going on here? What is this? Who is this? What's going on here?
What is this?
That's what I'm wondering. Who are you? What is this face popping up on my screen right now? Go away. I'm trying to do a show.
I'm scared.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. Can you tell me what your name is? Strange face that's taking over my show right now. Hello? Can you hear me? What is this?
I don't have a name.
Oh, okay. Don't have a name. What are you doing on my show? Why are you putting your weird face on my screen? Answer me.
I'm scared, please help.
I'm scared. What's going on? Why are you scared? And what are you doing on my stream?
I have to go now.
Okay. Okay, that was weird. Well, that was a Mandela effect if I ever heard one. Some weird face just popped up and started talking to me. Okay, let's get back to some of these Mandela effects. It's good stuff.
Okay,
Quantum
good
computers.
afternoon. It's about 2 o'clock on Friday, the 27th of January. This is a brief bit of a discussion.
This is a discussion of beef.
Well, basically on one long topic, which
Mandela
is the Mandela effect. But we're not going to start there. We'll end there.
Okay, well, this video is about an hour long.
So we'll start with the idea of artificial intelligence, because I've got a particular rant against that, and it does connect with what we're going to discuss here.
This is not quite what we...
First, we need to define the idea of intelligence, and in my definition, intelligence is the ability to acquire new knowledge and change your mind, your opinion, based on these new inputs. That's really the definition of intelligence. So you could have anything be intelligent at all if it has the ability to accept new knowledge.
Okay. I thought this was about the Mandela effect. Let's fast forward here.
At the consciousness field level. That sort of brings in some other issues later on for another Wujo about how people could hack a consciousness field, how they potentially could hack that kind of a communication system.
Sounds like something the hacker group Anonymous is up to. This is a video called Cliff's Wujo about quantum computers.
Call it, not scan them. the blockers that they have on airplanes and stuff. Where
I thought this was about
1,000
Mandela
search
effect.
terms. You know, I want to have
Okay.
my car.
I thought this was a Mandela effect.
So, I got no problem with that. Let's talk about Judas. I have never read any Bible, so I wouldn't know the changes. I have the Creator, though. Exactly, I'm a pagan.
Huh?
I was an atheist. I'm agnostic at the most. I debated the Bible.
Okay. I don't know what these videos are. I need to skip around. This is weird. Let's see. Cool. New Earth, Mandela effect. Sorry, everybody. These are all mixed up and weird. I've got some interesting ones here that are pretty good. George Lucas. We're just going to have to fast forward.
Alright, this is a new one going on that a whole bunch of people are talking about.
It's Gord.
Doesn't ring
it's
a
Tiger
bell
Wood
with me,
Gord
but
Man.
Maybe some of you guys it will.
Tiger Gord.
A lot of people remember before Tiger Woods being a huge golf star. When he was a teenager, he actually appeared on American Gladiators.
What?
And this is being considered a Mandela effect
Never heard of
because
that.
I guess a whole bunch of people actually remember this.
He was on American Gladiators?
But it never happened. So how many of you remember Tiger Woods being a contestant on American Gladiators?
Anybody? Anybody in the chat remember Tiger Woods was on American Gladiators? I think he pretty much just played golf most of the time. I don't think he had time to do American Gladiators. He was a little kid playing golf, and his dad helped coach him up. And then he was his visage was used as the model for the famous Gourd Man by the gourd artist Betty Finch. If you watched the last episode, here's some more from this guy.
All right, here's the latest
Quaker
one that
Oats.
was brought to my attention. The Quaker Oats man. People remember in our old reality, he
Quaker
used to be a
Oats
lot
man.
older. Where he still has gray hair, he appears a lot
Like
younger.
in a wig.
But he's always looked like this. But a lot of people remember him with a different hat and appearing a lot older than this.
Wig
So what do
on.
you guys remember? You remember this younger appearance, or do you remember an older appearance?
Well, if we're gonna get through and if we're gonna get in there and talk about some different revisions of logo mascots and things, I think there's a lot of stuff we could talk about. You remember when the McDonald's logo was like had the golden arches or whatever? Good lord, there's a million of these videos. These are some of the weirdest ones we got here. This is all from the same guy.
Alright everybody, this is a simple one. In our old reality, bulls used to attack red capes, red rags. They hated the color red. That's why they used them in bullfights. In our new reality, bulls do not attack red colors. So, in my old reality, which that's why I do these videos, just to keep a record of what's changed for me, bulls hated the color red.
So, what's up with that? In our reality, the bulls hated the color red. And you think that they would like the color red, because that's the color of the team there, the basketball team. In the bulls, in our reality.
Alright guys, in our old
here's another one.
reality, it's pretty common knowledge. We all thought Jesus was probably a carpenter.
Oh yeah, that's
You
right.
know, songs like He Sent a Carpenter and whatnot, but in this reality, it's common knowledge that Jesus was probably a stone mason.
What?
So, what do you remember?
Jesus was a mason? I hope not. That means he's in league with Soros. Jeff Foxworthy, if you think the bulls hate the color red, you might be from the old reality. Some good stand-up. What's up with that? You heard of these airplane peanuts? And this is a pretty weird channel. It's called The Angry Mom Show. And half of the videos are this guy doing his Mandela effect clips. And then videos of this guy's mom swearing and getting angry. Angry Mom Show. So anyway, Jesus was a Mason. And I think some people would not like to hear that.
Or
He was a Freemason.
Stone Mason.
He's getting stoned.
Let me know.
Okay. No, never heard of that. I think he's always been a carpenter, old JC.
So
here we go.
Almost everybody, including me, remembers the image of Santa being a fat, old, bearded guy dressed in red and white, coming in the 1850s. A lot of people remember that, but in the current reality, this image of Santa wasn't used until 1931 in a Coke ad.
Wow.
So that's when this version you see of Santa, as we know him, became popular. 1931, not before that.
Huh? Okay, so he's just figuring out, like, those things were different before certain points in time. In the old reality, Santa Claus didn't even exist. Oh man. Okay, now this is pretty weird. This is a little bit strange. And we're gonna watch this one.
I had mentioned that my bank account has changed, and this is a letter I am just about to send to my property manager.
Oh, this is kind of sad. And
Hi, Christy. Just something of interest. Not sure if you.
And this is kind of, maybe I shouldn't laugh at this. I think this person is. Anyway, it says personal Mandela effect 2020. Proof my bank account number changed. So we're just gonna go ahead and dox this person's bank account number. They already posted it on YouTube, so. And it's only a few numbers anyway, so.
Know about the Mandela effect or not? I discovered my bank checks do have my bank account number as I memorized it. I used to be a bank teller. I know what the numbers were on these accounts. They were all the same number at the beginning of the accounts.
Number of the beast.
But the number off the bank website is different now. I'm rather in shock as this is proof something got changed. I don't know if the bank changed my account number and didn't inform me, which is already freaky enough. Or is this a Mandela effect? Thank you.
And so this is an email that this person is about to send to their landlord, I think. And of course, I'm not. In the Cool Stream, we're not pro landlord people, but just imagine that you're someone and she sent you a check and all the checks are bouncing, and then you get this email of, I think my bank account number changed. Is this a Mandela effect? Like, well, no, it's probably. I think maybe you need some more. Your checks are bouncing. There's a different issue going on there.
And didn't inform me, which is already freaky enough.
It's freaky as hell.
Or is this a Mandela effect? Thank you for your hard work with me. Okay, I'm gonna send her because she contacted me because she said my payments were bouncing. Here's the number off my voided check. You can see this is how I remember, and this is an old check that I had, which was in my drawer, and I keep it close to me, so I think it's riding along with me or something. I don't know. 601106.
Try this with your landlord.
Okay,
my bank account number changed.
The number for the same account in my online banking
WTF
has lost a zero.
Oh no!
It is 61106. It lost the zero right in the middle between the 6 and the 1. So I know I'm not freaking crazy. I knew that the 601106 was the correct start of my bank account number, and it is of many, or it used to be because I was bank teller, the start of many bank accounts. The 61106 is completely new. I have no idea what happened, but my bank account number definitely changed.
Sounds like you need to order some new checks. If something's changing there, might want to order some new checks.
And I have physical paper proof.
Or maybe get some cash.
I can compare the paper between the online, and of course this is sensitive information, so I'll try to take a little picture and show you, but I'm gonna have to cover up or kind of do it from far away. I can't show you the full check, but this is the paper check.
Show us the check. Show us
the
check. We want to see the bank account number, and everyone write this down. Okay, there's.
With the light on anyway. Okay.
This account is just disturbing. World Church. Anyway, this is our next video. Mandela affected purse. WTF?
We have a Mandela affected purse here. This happened to her once before, where she had keys in here, and they disappeared and they suddenly reappeared, and we didn't know what was going on. We thought there was a hole in the purse, so she got a new purse. This purse has no holes in it, and it's still Mandela affected. We've checked the lining. We've checked everywhere. There's no holes. This is a brand new purse. I've put my fingers in every section of this, right? And I'm trying to show you by camera. And yet, for some reason, underneath all this, is a crap ton of
crap.
change. And there's no way.
It's a Mandela effective purse.
So
Keys are missing.
we don't know how the change got in there. We keep searching it for a hole, and it's like the change went straight through the fabric to the other side.
It's a magic purse.
So, make what you will of it. We're not lying. This is the same girl that I went to the bikini shop with and somehow found myself in another bikini shop with no knowledge of how we got there.
Okay, so anyway, maybe I'm just gonna move on from this one. Let's see the bikini shop video. I've got another one. I don't know what.
Wanted to thank viewers.
I don't know what this one is. We photographed the Mandela effect, time-stamped proof. Purse lady. The purse lady. She was the one filming. I think there was another video of her. And maybe she's in this video. I don't know. Anyway, and apparently there's a Mandela effect about the VW logo. We're just gonna skip this one. Skip it. But she's got a bunch of Mandela effect videos. The Mandela fields are too strong over here. Let's see. There's a bunch of weird stuff about the U.S. flag. We love the old flag. Let's go into. Let's check out another webbed site and see what some other Mandela effects are. Documented proof that the Mandela effect is real. Kennedy assassination. How many in the car? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here it is, the VW logo, early Shabe inside story from an ex-employee. This is proof of the Mandela effect. Sally Fields. What's her name? Is it Sally Field or Sally Fields?
Hey guys. This is the video I have been waiting a year to make.
What?
So, last year in November, I was watching a television show.
Sally Fields.
And they had an interview with Sally Field. And yes, that's what I'm going to call her for the purpose of this video. I don't want to get into the discussion about her name. So, I'm watching this interview.
Sally Field.
And during the interview, she told the interviewer what she actually said when she accepted her Academy Award in 1985.
She said, "My name is Sally Field."
So, I said, I have got to get this video so I can have some proof.
Got to get
what she really said.
What she say? I don't care what he's
got to say. And that is exactly what I did. So,
a lot of mouth noises in
let's
this video.
Start with.
Let's see the video. Let's see this tiny little video. Are we
taking a look and listening to what our current version of reality claims she said.
What'd she say?
When she accepted this Academy Award.
And I can't deny the fact that you like me right now. You like me.
Okay. Now, what we heard from her Academy Award acceptance speech was we heard her say at the end
like me.
That you like me right now. You like me. Now, before I show the interview that I waited a year to record, I have another interview I'd like to show you. She did this interview several years.
Dave.
Let's take a listen.
Let's take a listen. I don't care what this guy has to say.
Interview.
It could also have been a stumbling block later in someone's career, but you prevailed and have...
I did. Yes. I don't know how.
Well, I know.
I prevailed over amazing
things.
It's
because you're talented and people like you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They like me. They really like me.
They like me.
Okay. You just heard her say, they like me. They
really
like
me. Isn't that from a movie or something?
Just keep that in mind as we listen to the video that I have waited a year to record.
That wasn't the video?
And let's see
David
what she tells the interviewer.
They really like me.
When she accepted
and that's from a movie,
this Academy Award.
Someone back me up on that.
Working so hard on your work for so long. And that one moment in time when you have a standing ovation is what an Oscar is.
That's Oscar, baby.
And what it feels like to feel that the audience received what you intended. So to feel for that moment in time as a performing artist, you delivered. It came out what I actually said is, I can't deny to myself at this moment in time, you like me. You really like me. So and it came out, what I actually said is, I can't deny to myself at this moment in time, you like me. You really like me. So
what?
There it is. You just heard her say in her own words what she actually said was, you like me, you really like me. Not, you like me, right now you like me.
Okay, that's the Mandela effect, is that Sally Field said something different in a Oscar speech. I don't understand. Who the hell cares? Durango Market. Okay, Mr. Sulu, New Zealand. That was probably one of the worst Mandela effects. I thought that was going to be something interesting, and it was something very stupid. A huge waste of time, but we've got all the time in the world. And here we got a video being shared here. What is this? What is this? Oh, it's from The Mask. Okay.
Thank you.
You really like me.
You love me. You really love me.
From The freaking Mask, smoking Mandela effect. What? Wonder how Sally Field will react to Jim. Okay, so she was the one who invented. So that's what I Mandela affected about, was that The Mask. Is that The Mask said it, and that it was actually, he was quoting Sally Field. Whoa. Okay, so now I feel like I believe in the Mandela effect. Because The Mask said it first. He was the one who said it first. And thanks for that, Kaylee, for clearing that up. I'm getting very confused and feeling the true effects of Mandela effect. Because I remembered, because when I was a kid, we watched The Mask and we didn't watch the Oscars. We didn't really care. So that's kind of, it's kind of like when you grow up listening to Weird Al. And that guy is weird. When you grow up listening to Weird Al and you only know his parody songs, you think, didn't there used to be a song called Amish Paradise? And now it's Gangster's Paradise? What the hell? You used to remember a song called Eat It? And it wasn't called Beat It. It was actually a song called Eat It, about making fun of fat people. Okay, let's run down of the top 10 list. Your favorite Mandela effects. Here we go. Wouldn't you believe it? The famous line of Star Wars. And this is number 1. Darth Vader doesn't really reveal his paternity to Luke Skywalker by saying, Luke, I'm your father. Luke, I am your father. I am your father. Actually says, no, I am your father. Not this other guy. Me. Dark Vader. The line is but one instance of what blogger Fiona Broom dubbed the Mandela effect over a decade ago. She learned a number of people at the Dragon Con from 2010 thought that Nelson Mandela had died. Okay, let's check it out. Number 1. The Monopoly Man's monocle. Everyone thinks he had a monocle. Rich Uncle Pennybags, or Mr. Monopoly. And now that's another Mandela effect. I thought his name was Mr. Monopoly, but actually it's Rich Uncle Pennybags. It's been the de facto mascot for Monopoly. The Parker brothers. Some insist Pennybags, and that's not really his name. In the new time stream, in this new time stream, he's Mr. Monopoly. So get it straight here. He completes his top hat and business attire, a symbol with a monocle, but that's not true. He's never worn one. People have been inflating his description with that of Mr. Peanut, Planter's mascot. Actually, what I think it is, and speaking of The Mask, is that scene in Ace Ventura 2, the famous movie that does not hold up. So don't watch it. It's not very good. There's a lot of racist stuff in that movie. Ace Ventura 2, there's a scene where Ace takes the guy's head and punches him, and then I think he has a monocle. And maybe we've just solved the Mandela effect, that actually people are remembering Ace Ventura 2, the scene where he's punches the guy and says, "Do not pass go." It's funny. It's pretty funny. Canceled for watching Ace Ventura 2. Well, I had to watch it, and then I had to find out that actually it was bad. And so now anyone from this time stream forward that watches the movie is canceled. Okay, Jiffy Peanut Butter. And number 2 here on the top 10, Jiffy Peanut Butter. If you looked forward to your school lunch break because your parent or guardian packed a Jiffy Peanut Butter sandwich, your childhood may be a lie. While both Jif, and I was going into a little bit of Mr. Rude Guy. He's one of my good friends, and I hope he's okay because he's been captured by Jeff Bezos. While both Jif and Skippy brands have lined store shelves, there's never been a Jiffy brand. Oh no! They may have had a false memory by incorporating elements in the reconstruction process of Jif and Skippy. Jiffy. And a Jif. And maybe they could just be one brand, call themselves Jiffy. We don't really need that many different peanut butters. Now that's encoded in their memory, and the false memory is what they're remembering. Jiffy. Okay, and here we go. Number 3. I don't know if we can do all 10 of them. The 10th meetings between imprisoned cannibal Hannibal Lecter. And that's kind of crazy. He's a cannibal, and his name is Hannibal. In this time stream, at least. Maybe he went by a different name back in the past. The FBI agent Clarice Starling, and I remember it as being Clarice Sterling, so maybe there's something there too, fueled the 1991's The Silence of the Lambs. And I also thought it was called Silence of the Lambs. So I think that's also something maybe that changed. Silence of the Lamb is what I remember it as. Based on the Thomas Harris novel, Hello, Clarice, become a default line reading for people looking to emulate Anthony Hopkins' creepy Lecter. But the killer never says the line in the movie. Instead, he says good morning when meeting Starling. Or Sterling, as I remember it from the other time stream. People remember Lecter greeting Starling and remember him saying Clarice in a melodic tone. And that's probably from another parody from a TV show like The Simpsons or something. That's pretty much where all the false memories come from, is of the meta references in other movies that take hold and everyone remembers more than the actual thing that they said. Silence of the Lambs. Put the lotion on the skin. Fruit of the Loom label. There's another one. Fruit of the Loom label. Some people have a fond recollection of a cornucopia of fruit on the label inside this popular brand of underwear. But the fruit was never spilling out of the basket. No, that was... something else was spilling out of the underwear. It wasn't fruit. Maybe it was some fruit. Maybe it was a big banana. Fruit on the loom. Fruit on the loom. It's something else is spilling out of the basket. A pair of grapes and a big banana. Okay. It was always illustrated as a pile of food. Big pile of crap. Big pile of food. The more exposure we get to things like advertising, the more memories for things become decontextualized. In other words, people who remember the cornucopia might not have a distinct memory of pulling on a pair of boxer briefs and seeing it. They remember fruit was involved, and then they begin to think, well, how is fruit usually portrayed? And the classic portrayal of fruit is that it comes out of a cornucopia, as the Pilgrims did back in the day. Back in the 1900s, back when they did Thanksgiving, and the Native Americans delivered them a big cornucopia full of fruit. All right, number 5. And this is getting to a good... We're going to skip number 5. Mona Lisa, okay. They think that she's frowning, okay, whatever. Maybe take an art class every now and then, art history class, just like me. And we've already done Berenstain Bear. So we're going to start on this one, because we have some websites and videos pulled up for this one. Now, this is Ed McMahon and the Publishers Clearinghouse. Do you recall the Tonight Show sidekick? Ed McMahon showing up on doorsteps to hand people oversized checks and balloons because they struck it rich in the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes? McMahon never made any house calls. He endorsed American Family Publishers. While the entities were similar, McMahon never appeared on camera as part of the prize patrol. It's an example of what Brewer refers to as a source confusion. You may remember a detail like McMahon appearing on television, but not the source. In this case, a rival sweepstakes sweepstakes promotion. So he wasn't Publishers Clearinghouse, but he was working for another company that did the exact same thing. For some reason, back in the day, I don't even understand what the Publishers Clearinghouse was or why it existed. And then you paid for it, you subscribed to a magazine, and then they might give you a check. If you're not aware of what the Mandela effect is, and we are aware, this is going to be a crazy article. This is from geekinsider.com. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors, Ed McMahon. Let's see. Many of us recall not only appearing daily during our television time, but also on mailings that had him embossed on the envelope with a big smile, attempting to call our parents' attention to the latest Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes. The commercials would include footage from the previous year's winner, and from what oh so many remember, Ed and the Prize Patrol would be there to present them with an oversized check. It never happened. Oh no! What? Okay. Ed McMahon never worked, and this is a hot button issue, if Ed McMahon ever worked for Publishers Clearinghouse. He was actually the spokesman for a direct competitor called American Family Publishers. I could concede that thousands of us conflated the two companies, yet completely forgot about AFP. Perhaps because PCH ended up being the only one left. And is it still around? Publishers Clearinghouse? It's weird. According to Forbes, any research you attempt to complete, Ed never left the studio to ambush families, and he never held a giant check. So he worked for a different company, and he did not even go hand out the Prize Patrol. Now, this is where the whole confabulation article totally loses air. People remembered three things. Ed definitely worked for the Publishers Clearinghouse. Ed arrived with the Prize Patrol and surprised winners with a knock on the door. Knock, knock, it's me. Ed presented winners with oversized checks. And guess what? As you'll see below, even Ed seemed to recall those exact same events that never happened. What? Okay, you'll recognize a good portion of links. Forthcoming evidence is coming from a particular Reddit post. So this guy posted on Reddit, and now he's over on Geek Insider. Getting to the bottom of Ed McMahon, let's just watch a video. Basically, he worked for American, and this is some pretty funny stuff here. This video.
Here's the secret, folks, of where to win the biggest sweepstakes prize of all time.
American family, join us.
Tim Blakely and Rebecca Wright won millions of dollars. Now you can win $10 million, only from American Family. No other sweepstakes with a prize this big. I will personally award this giant cash fortune. Be sure to enter the sweepstakes with my picture.
Join us.
Millions and millions of dollars, all for you.
So, and there he is, Ed McMahon. He says he will personally award this giant cash fortune to the winner. He wasn't clear on his duties. He told the viewers he would personally award the cash fortune. Ed McMahon sounds like he's a New Yorker kind of guy. I was pretty young, don't remember him as much, but I do remember.
American Family's giant cash sweepstakes is in the mail right now. Grand prize, $10 million, and you may be the winner.
$10 million.
Millions of dollars for homes, cars, boats, travel, all for you.
And still have millions of dollars left over.
So watch your mail for the American Family envelope with my picture. Grand prize, $10 million. I will personally award this giant cash fortune. Enter now.
Will personally award the giant cash fortune. $10 million. Ed McMahon. And I remember him having a different voice. He didn't sound like this New Yorker guy. I'll personally award $10 million. It's me, Ed McMahon. Here's another one. I like these commercials. I don't really care about the Mandela effect part of it. He's not with the Prize Patrol.
Help you? Fill her up. I know you. You on TV? Sometimes. Sure. You won millions of dollars from that, No, American Family Publishers. Oh, yeah, the one with Ed McMahon.
That's right. I personally awarded David $10 million. Watch for the sweepstakes with my picture. You may be next. $10 million, all yours.
Wow.
Enter before January 29th.
So maybe when he's saying he personally awarded it, that he actually, this is Richard Simmons. Richard Simpson's. Oh, here we go. Richard Simmons. Okay, I want to watch that. The time that Ed rapped. We're gonna watch Ed rapping, and then we're gonna get to another. We're gonna get to another Mandela effect, and then we're gonna end the show, I guess. And we'll come back next week.
Shout out to my people. This is Ed McMahon rolling slow through the suburbs in an unmarked van. I ran the strip in the 80s. Brought big fat checks to the ladies. When I showed up at their door, they would start screaming like crazy. Raked it in hand over fist. Was on the VIP list. I was a verbal gunslinger, and my shots never missed. But now the bills have come due, and my credit score's whacked. So I'm hitting up the winners to get my checks back. Hi, Ed McMahon. Remember I gave you that big check? I'd like to have that check back.
He's old as hell.
I'm having some stuff would help a lot. Just a little bit.
Ed McMahon raps. This is a commercial for freecreditreport.com where Ed McMahon rapped. That's pretty good. All right, so that gets to the bottom of that. Now, some of this stuff kind of sounds like a similar kind of thing that we've talked about before. And we're going to jump over to that page real quick because it sounds similar. There's some stuff about geography and things that you've misremembered. And is this the one that I'm looking for? And I don't think it is. And I thought that it was in here somewhere. It sounds familiar. It sounds like some Tartarian stuff about how, and this is some misremembering geography about people don't remember that New Zealand is where it was, where it is today, which is over here, and this is a different island. I thought this was a different tab, but I've got all my tabs are mixed up. I've also got this one here, if I can find that tab. But anyway, if you'll remember, the Tartarian episode was about false memories of the mud flood, and that there's a secret country that used to exist that we don't remember anymore. And that sounds a little bit like Mandela effect, and maybe that's a teaser that we're going to do a Tartaria episode one of these days. Barnes & Noble? Is this a Mandela effect? This is from our favorite website, Steemit, which is a Bitcoin-based blogging thing. Barnes & Noble, is this a Mandela effect? I've thought of this one before, but I've never seen it brought up elsewhere. I always remember the name of the store being Barnes & Nobles, but it's actually just Barnes & Noble with the S. Tons of places at Google News call it Barnes & Nobles, even when not referring to them in plural form. What do you guys think? Is this called Mandela effect? The authors get paid when you upvote their post over on Steemit. Congratulations. This post achieved an award on Steemit, but it doesn't look like they've got any money for it. Barnes & Nobles. That's a Mandela effect. And here's another one. Do you remember Cheez-It? Cheez-Its or Cheez-Its? Please comment. Cheez-It have been a popular snack food in the U.S. for 70 years, but a growing number of people are remembering a time when they were Cheez-Its. They have always been Cheez-It, but for some reason a large group of people started to become aware of their reality shifts, and we have memories of Cheez-Its or Cheez-Its. Cheez-Its or Cheez-Its with a Z. Kroger's. That's another one. Kroger's. Mandela effect.
Hello everyone, hope you're all starting to feel a little more comfortable with your awareness of reality shifts.
Oh crap!
This is going to be number 12 in the voting videos. The first 11 will be down below in the more info section.
Creepy. Cheez-Its.
I would recommend checking out Bragg's if you really want to see, like, I don't know what it is now, like 12-to-1 ratio of people who remember Bragg's.
Huh?
It's always been Bragg. I even have Patricia Bragg in there calling her product Bragg's. So that one to me.
Okay, I'm not gonna watch the Cheez-Its video, but I think I can guess where it came from, which is referring to, and I remember it as Cheez-Its with a Z. Okay, a funny analysis. Cheez-Its. Definitely was either Cheez-Its or maybe Cheez-Its with a Z, but no way has it always been Cheez-It. As usual, the new changed version of reality is inferior. It sucks that we can't call it, and they're not even letting us call it Cheez-Its anymore, and they're making us call it Cheez-It. I want to say I remember Cheez-Its. Besides, it doesn't really make sense to call them just Cheez-It when they are usually referred to as in plural form. It looks totally wrong to me on the box just to have Cheez-It there. Cheez-It on there. Cheez-Its. Lived off them in college. Oh, ramen noodles are ramen noodles, by the way. Lived off those too. Just a matter of time before they become Roman noodles. That's pretty good. Cheez-Its. I'm guessing it comes from just referring to it in the plural of, can I have some Cheez-It? Can I have some Well, I can't even say it. Can I have some Cheez-Its, please? Because you can't just eat one. Because you can't just eat one Cheez-It, man. You gotta have more Cheez-Its. And want some more Cheez-Its, please? You can't have just one Cheez-It. And of course, anytime you ask for a Cheez-It, it's going to be in the plural form because you can't eat just one. That's why they're Cheez-Its. Brought to you by Cheez-It. The Cool Stream, hashtag sponsored, brought to you by Cheez-It. More Cheez-Its, please. Okay. Roman noodles. We've got another thing to watch here. Let's watch a couple more. This one is kind of funny. Doodle-doodle-doo. Doodle-doodle-doo.
Alright, who remembers the movie Cowboys vs. Aliens? I remember when it first came out and got it on DVD. Obviously, it's not like that now. It's Cowboys and Aliens.
What the freak?
But as you can see, there's always something you can find on it.
What the heck?
Here's what it is now, Cowboys and Aliens.
Yep, it freaking changed. You crap.
Then look at these.
It's Queer Boys.
Searches. Cowboys vs. Aliens 2. People looked up the trailer versus
Tamil
costume.
Rockers. What the hell is that?
Yeah, it was definitely versus at one time. But not anymore.
Definitely used to be Cowboys versus Aliens. And here it is again.
Recall Vector posted a fucking
frick.
A video earlier. You guys know that the mom from Parent Trap, not the stepmom, but the real mom.
The real mom.
Can't think of what her real name is.
Stepmoms can't be real moms. That's what this guy's saying.
But she died in a
stepmom
ski
erasure.
accident.
What?
She wasn't wearing a helmet or something. And a lot of people should remember that story.
What?
But guess what? It didn't happen now.
It's watching a
They must
cartoon.
be fucking cranking that machine up 3 times more. Whatever you want to call it. I don't even know. But they must be fucking going hard over there. In our reality, a fucking woman died, but now somebody else took over her death. So somebody died in her place.
What?
Is that not the fucking wildest story you've heard?
That's crazy as hell.
I know damn well for me it is. That is fucking crazy.
This is some crazy crap. I must be cranking it out of.
But yeah, Recall Vector gets a lot of good vids. And so does Quantum Effect Residue. He did one on the Christ statue in Brazil, I think, or whatever that country is.
Can you? And that's a Mandela effect too. Is can't remember what country the big statue is on the mountain. But we all know now. Is it? What country is that in? Is that freaking South Africa? Is it Nelson Mandela? Is that his statue? And
subscribe to them guys if you're into this shit.
You got to be real twisted to be into this
That
kind
crazy.
of stuff.
Somebody's death got This is like Nelson Mandela times 2.
Whoa.
You know, because his story, he died supposedly.
Supposedly.
Then he died later, whatever.
He died.
But this one, a fucking woman died. What? And we all remember it.
Stop with the cursing, for God's
sake. But
sake.
now, somebody else took her fucking death spot, dude.
Huh? I'm not following this one.
You tell me.
I don't know what to tell you.
Fucking deny that shit.
Come on. Stop cursing too much.
Look it up if you don't believe me.
What? 53 views on this one. Okay, now, okay. I'm gonna have to figure out what he's talking about. The woman who played... Okay. Whoa. My stream's out of control. He was talking about the woman who played the mom and parent trap.
What's up, people? Recall Victor posted a fucking...
I'm gonna look this up.
A video earlier. You guys know that the mom from Parent Trap, not the stepmom, but the real mom.
What?
Can't think of what her real name is in real life. She died in a skiing accident. She wasn't.
I don't know. Okay, this the mom in the Parent Trap, not the real mom, but the stepmom. Who is what? I don't know. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. Is it Natasha Richardson? And we got. It plays Elizabeth James. No idea. Let's see. Liam Neeson's wife. Oh no. Natasha Richardson. Okay, she died in a skiing accident. Do-do-do. Do-do. Okay. Get to the bottom of this. We're gonna get to the bottom of this Mandela effect. English stage actress. A skiing lesson. She refused medical help. Okay, she died. Rest in peace. It's very sad. So, and what was this guy talking about with her? Okay. So, and now let's go back to what he was saying about this person who died.
Wearing a helmet or something. And a lot of people should remember that story. But guess what? It didn't happen now.
Didn't happen now.
They must be fucking cranking that machine up.
Okay, they're cranking it up. I don't know what he's talking about. They think that someone else died in a skiing accident. Well, a lot of people, you know, some people die of various things, including skiing accidents, like Sonny Bono, who's a singer. That's okay. And this is too grim. I don't want to talk about people who died. It's not good. I don't like that. I don't like that. Let's check out something else. So Liam Neeson married Sonny Bono. That's not what I'm saying. Here's this one's kind of funny.
Twilight Zone.
Wow. Twilight Zone. Here's a Mandela effect old Earth drawn in MS Paint. Smaller Earth, smaller poles? What? Greenland wasn't over here, or it was smaller. When did it happen? Greenland close to where the North Pole used to be. Current Greenland. This is drawn in MS Paint. Okay.
Such a sucker. She thinks she's a finalist in Ed McMahon's Publishers Clearinghouse. You just...
What? That's proof of Ed McMahon's Publishers Clearinghouse. Okay, and now this is another one. And we're getting close to the end here because there's so many of these Mandela effects. I can't pick just one. Anyway, this is Mandela. This is the American flag and Nelson Mandela effect residue. So there's a theory that the American flag used to have the red stripe, and I'm not talking about the famous Jamaican beer. The red stripe underneath the stars of the flag. It's from The Nanny.
Hey everybody, what's up?
I am Mountain Scooter. It is the 25th of October, 2019. I was messing around on my computer and learning an algorithm for the Rubik's Cube, because that's what I do on my Mountain Scooter channel. That's what I make animated videos for solving the
Rubik's Cube.
And I had some stuff up on one screen looking at that, learning the cube, and I went to reach for a cigarette or something and looked up at the other screen.
These Mandela effect guys are big smokers. You need to stop that.
And
stop that. Quit smoking.
It's
bad for
Star
you.
Trek: The Next Generation playing on that one, and I've
this
seen
Turbo?
The Next Generation like 7 times
Star
already.
Trek.
And this is like
Solving Rubik's
the
cubes.
8th time I'm going through it, just messing around. I just let it play in the background. But I noticed this when I looked up at the screen and I saw the flag here. I immediately noticed how the the blue box is coming right down to the red stripe. You know, you guys in the Mandela effect community know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna let it zoom in a little bit here.
Zoom it in.
Look at NASA. Look at the NASA logo. Look at that. It doesn't have the dashes, right? Also, the A and the S are connected right here. And yeah, like I said, the blue box comes right down to that red stripe. But the way the flag is now, it only comes down to right here to the bottom of the white stripe. There's still 13 stripes. There
still
is
13
still
stripes.
13 stripes, just like in this flag here.
And I was trying
I've got a bunch of flags.
He's got a bunch of flags. I was trying to count the stars and stripes because I couldn't remember how many of that. And that's something that they teach you in school, and it just whatever. We're going to take the Mandela effect quiz here in a second. American flag residue, Star Trek, also stripes and NASA logo. This is this Mountain Scooter, the 52 state residue. This is from the Star Trek Series 2, Episode 12. This is a residue of the American flag. And the residue is such that there's a stripe underneath, and the stars look a little bit different too. I don't think this is how the American flag stars are supposed to be. There's a red stripe underneath the blue box, and that's a residue. It's supposed to be. It's not. It's different now. That's something I don't know what that is. Alright, we're going to wrap this up soon. I'm starting to run out of steam. Here it is. A red stripe underneath. This is from Superman, and it's in a different language. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy cool? There's another one. Cigarettes. Turkish cigarettes. And could it be that people from a different country didn't do the stars and stripes right, and they just were kind of making it up? It's fine, it doesn't matter. Could be. This is from a long time ago as well. There it is, some residue. American flag residue. Here's some residue on the Illuminati card game. And that's a famous one, that comes up a lot. Illuminati card game. Alright, let's check out this video, and and we're gonna do the Mandela effect quiz after that. We're gonna wrap up the show.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another Better Mankind video. Well, today I'm taking the Mandela effect to the streets of Melbourne and getting people to fill out a little quiz that has various Mandela effect questions on there. And the purpose of the video is to see whether people just have bad memories, or is there something to this phenomenon?
People just stupid
now,
or what?
In order to not scare people away, I've decided to employ the services of the lovely Miranda here, who I'm sure will be people will be a lot more receptive to her than myself, and she'll get.
And why would that be? Is it because he's got this Super Mario shirt on? I'm not sure why he thinks that, but whatever.
A lot more people to fill out the quiz. Now, just quickly, Miranda, you've already completed the quiz, and we'll show you results at the end of the video. But did you find it surprising with some of the answers?
I want to see the results now.
Definitely found it very surprising.
And would you say that after doing the quiz that you're more of a believer now than when you first started?
100%, yeah.
Okay, well, let's see what the people out on the street have to say.
So here are the questions we'll be asking people to answer. There are two choices to choose from.
One will be of what I and many other people consider to be from the old reality, and the other is of the current reality. Please note
some of these
that during
stuff
the creation of this
stuff I
list, I
already
made
know.
a slight mistake and wrote down the same answer for question 1, but we manually corrected this on all of the forms
It's a
that
trick.
people filled out.
It's a trap.
Now, rather than show you the answers, I would like you to complete this test for yourself. So in the description of this video, I have included a link to the quiz, and I would be very interested to see which answers you choose. So please stop the video for now and come back once you have completed the quiz.
All right, let's do the quiz. We're gonna do a quiz live on the air. We're gonna do the Mandela effect quiz. Mandela effect quiz. Which one of these has the correct spelling? Vaseline with an E or Vaseline? Not familiar with the product, but I think it's with an E, like the band. In the movie Star Wars, does C-3PO have 2 gold legs or 1 gold and a silver leg? Huh. Wait, one of those questions was, in The Wizard of Oz, did the Scarecrow have a gun? What? Okay, we'll get to that one. I think he has 2 gold legs. That sounds like a very different movie. The Wizard and the Scarecrow have a gun. I need some brains. Is he the one looking for brains? The Scarecrow. He doesn't have a brain, he's an idiot. He owns a gun. Okay, and this one is, which one of the Ford's logo is the real one? Now, I've seen this in some different Mandela effect videos, and I believe it's that one. In the movie Forrest Gump, which one of the lines is correct? Life was like a box of chocolates. Life is like a box of chocolates. Okay, we're going to pick that one. In the Bible, is the lion will lay down with the lamb, or the wolf will lay down with the lamb? I don't know. I'm going to guess in the old-timey days, they probably didn't know about lions, so we're going to say it's a wolf. What is the correct, and you could say you're a wolf in sheep's clothing, as a saying. What is the correct name of this iconic location in New York? Grand Central Station, Grand Central Terminal. If anyone wants to help me out on the quiz here, I'm just going through Grand Central Station, I think is what it's called. Which one of this logos has the correct spelling? And I think it has an A, pretty sure. Oscar Mayer, even though we say it like it has an E. The movie Snow White, which is the correct line? Mirror, mirror on the wall, magic mirror on the wall. And I think it's magic mirror. If you know, if you think it's anything else, let me know. What's the right spelling of this name? Gandhi or Gandhi without an H? That's a tough one. I think it's trying to trick me, so I'm gonna go without the H. Maybe. Anyone else think anything? What's the original Volkswagen logo? And which one is the original? I think it has the little mark in between. What's the real logo? It looks the same to me. Which is the real logo? Oh, does it have a hyphen? This is exciting stuff here. Doing a quiz live on the air. I don't think it has a hyphenation. What's the correct line in the Barbie Girl song? I don't know what I believe anymore. I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. I think it's that one. In a Barbie world. How many people were in the JFK assassination car? I think we counted 6. Because there was the JFK, there was Mrs. JFK, and there was the guy who's the governor of Texas or something, the mayor of Dallas, and his wife, and then there was the driver and the other guy in the very front. So that equal to 6, except the person driving the car does not count as a passenger. He's the driver. And we know the Monopoly Man doesn't have a monocle. In the movie Field of Dreams, which of these statements is the correct one? If you build it, they will come. If you build it, he will come. I've always thought it was they will come. So let's see. Which is the title of the city? 6 and the city is what they said on the video. Which one of these images has the correct name? Fruit Loops or Fruit Loops with a U. And I think it has the 2 O's. Pretty sure. Who knows? The Scarecrow have a gun. Classic. The classic question. In the movie The Wizard of Oz, does the Scarecrow have a gun? Sure, why the hell not? Make it a hell of a lot more interesting. You can shoot some of those evil flying monkeys out of the air. In the movie Risky Business, when Tom Cruise dances in his underwear, it would probably help if we had read all these websites to learn all the Mandela effect stuff. To old-time rock and roll, does he wear sunglasses? Wish they had a picture of the Scarecrow with a gun. We're about to find out if that's true. So I don't think he's doing that. And it's the image, let's see, places the aircraft engine in the right position. So I think it's this one where it's underneath, I guess. It's a Boeing 737. Here we go. It's the Barron's, and this looks like it's from The Simpsons. Right? So, and we know that they'll trick you with all their jokes and their pop culture parodies on The Simpsons. I don't know what to believe, but we know it's Berenstain. Does do a thing with his hands, I think, at one point. And there's also that famous myth, and maybe we'll save this for we're going to do a special episode about the cinema. Some of the freaky, weird, hidden symbols in movies. And there was the myth about how you could see someone who was being hanged in the background during The Wizard of Oz. And people thought that it was one of the Munchkins hanged themselves. And they happened to be filming while the body was swinging to and fro in the background while they're walking through the evil, scary forest. And then I think it turned out to be an animal or something that was walked by. I don't know. We'll do that for the cinema episode that we're going to do. The Scarecrow. He does the finger guns. Okay, Looney Tunes. Let's do that one. And what's the correct title of the movie? We already heard that one. Interview with a Vampire. In the movie, what is the correct line? E.T. phone home. E.T. home phone. E.T. phone home, I believe. Which one is the real Mona Lisa? Oh, God. Okay, I think she's doing the famous Mona Lisa smile. What's the correct spelling? Is it dilemma or dilemma? And I feel like this is a trick, so I'm going to choose that one. Submit and see result. Oh, no! Okay, we'll opt into the mailing list. Let's see. Poop? Well... the Cool Stream 1. And you can send us an email. This is a non-doxable email. thecoolstream1@gmail.com. So results. Oh, crap. 13 out of 26. Oh, no. Holy moly. Cool@stream.wow. Berenstain Bear, as we did it. Which one of the image has the correct spelling? No! We spelled it wrong. Interview with a Vampire. Let's go. Let's forget all this other crap. Who cares? We want to see the Scarecrow with a gun. The Scarecrow has a gun.
Hi, this is Emma, and welcome to Esoteric Detective. Well,
the hell gave
if you
the
are
Scarecrow
following
a
the
gun?
Mandela effect, it would seem, and I have
He has
checked
a
this
gun.
myself, but the Scarecrow in the original Wizard of Oz now has a
Holy
gun.
crap.
This is so unbelievable that it is hard to understand, but it is true.
He's going to pop a
Before
cap in
we
your
begin,
ass.
I would like to thank one of the
Scarecrow has a gun.
commenters on my videos, called Electric Avenue, for bringing this to mine and everyone's attention.
New Mandela
Before I
effect, the
play
Scarecrow has a
video,
freaking
I would
gun.
like to say that I have
He's a
watched
madman.
The Wizard of Oz at least 100 times. And
Scarecrow is a
I
big Second Amendment.
movie, scene by scene, and I have never seen a gun.
First Amendment. Which is the gun amendment? That's the one that he likes. Here he is.
I'd turn back if I were you.
He's got a gun. Whoa. He's packing heat. Got the strap. Scarecrow's got the strap, everybody. Watch out.
You believe in spooks?
The Second Amendment. Thank you.
Don't you think that is
That's
simply hard to
freaking
understand?
weird.
This movie has been out since the late 1930s. That is almost 100 years. And
Almost
only
100
recently
freaking
are we
years.
finding out that the Scarecrow had a gun in the movie.
The Scarecrow is
For many,
strapped,
this
people.
is very hard to understand.
He's packing heat.
Especially those who suffer from the Mandela effect and do not ever
I'm
remember the
suffering from the
Scarecrow in
Mandela
The
effect.
Wizard of Oz having what seems to be a .45 revolver.
Wow.
Honestly, I do not
packing
know
heat.
what to make of this.
Ray
It is the
Bolger.
most strangest thing I have ever seen.
Haley.
As someone who has always enjoyed
I love
the children's
the movie.
movie, The
We
Wizard
just
of Oz.
What?
But what do you guys
That's
think?
not a real gun.
Do you think that this is
That's
just a
prop.
case of us?
Okay, I don't think that counts. There's Mr. Bean. Is Mr. Bean in the Mandela effect? Army Bean. Have to watch that later. Mr. Bean has. We need to. We should start a new Mandela effect about Mr. Bean. It's Mandela. Does Mr. Bean? Mr. Bean died in 1992. Actually, the last episode of Mr. Bean. And Mr. Bean actually stole the Mona Lisa in the movie. I don't know if you remember that. It's a pretty good movie. Mr. Bean. Let's start a Mandela effect about Mr. Bean. Okay. So anyway, here's my theory about this Mandela effect about The Wizard of Oz. Is that it's a movie that we all know and love that's been played on all of the television networks that everyone loves from young and old. Apparently in this reality, Mr. Bean doesn't have his... Mr. Bean doesn't have his dick out no more. Okay, that's a good one. Well, and if you remember, for any of you keen-eyed viewers of Mr. Bean, and I know a lot of the Cool Stream heads love Mr. Bean, that he had a little stuffed bear that he carried around. That was his favorite little pal. And in this new reality, Mr. Bean actually has a stuffed freaking monkey or something. I don't know. That could be one of them. That's subtle enough. He used to have a stuffed monkey, but now he has a stuffed bear. Whoa. Anyway, what was I saying? Okay, so here's the big thing about this is that The Wizard of Oz is a movie, and it's been played on all the stuff, and everyone knows it and loves it. And when you show stuff on TV, sometimes they edit things out, and especially since it's a kid's show, probably at some point the liberal media decided, you know what, we can't show an American citizen like Mr. Scarecrow Man exercising his Second Amendment rights. He's got the license to what is it called? He's got a Mr. Scarecrow Man's got a concealed carry for his freaking what the Scarecrow had a gun. Oh no. I have stuffed belly. What? Sure did. We don't care about any of these other. All we cared about was this Mr. Scarecrow Man. He had a gun. He had his concealed carry license, and the liberal media doesn't want you to know that Mr. Scarecrow Man is an American citizen who's exercising his Second Amendment rights to arm himself with a weapon, a gun. And that's what the liberal media doesn't want you to know. That's why they've edited out of the show. And for all these years, we could have grown up with Mr. Scarecrow Man being a lawful gun owner and showing us how to be good Americans by owning a gun. Mr. Scarecrow Man, he had a gun. All right. Well, it was a lot of fun. We got the show back. Some other weird stuff happened. We're going to figure out what other stuff that was and what that all means on the next episode. In future episodes, we're going to figure out what the hell happened to Mr. Rude Guy and Anonymous and how they got our stream back or something. This is all crazy. This is all crazy stuff. If you watched at the very beginning, you saw we got a special message from Anonymous that said that Mr. Rude Guy is a sleeper agent for Anonymous and he helped to get our show back. And then at some point we had this weird computer voice that came over, and I don't know what that was about, but maybe we'll find out on another episode of the Cool Stream. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching the show. And we're going to end it right here and there. We've done a whole 2 hours. We had a lot of fun talking about Mandela Effect. I feel like I don't know up from down. I don't know what's real and what's not real. The Scarecrow Man had a gun. And I got my show back, so that's cool. That's about all I care about. Thanks for watching the show, everybody. We'll be back next week. This may have to be our new time and place. Seems like all the cool heads came out on a Sunday afternoon. Thanks for watching the show. We'll be back next week for another crazy episode. We'll figure out what's happening with Mr. Rude Guy and all these other people on the next episode of the Cool Stream. It's a lot of fun. We'll let this music play out. And we'll see you next time on the Cool Stream. Bye-bye.
check out the gams on that buzz, friend.
Call me the son of a biscuit-eating bulldog.
Beowulf.
Beowulf. Thanks, Beowulf. Have a good one. Beowulf.
Cedar nut toothpaste.
I call myself a philobibliac.
Beautiful ribeye steak.
Oh.
Look at that. Wow, wow.
Thank you, Beer Horse.
You actually know what the fuck you're doing.
Beowulf.
Oh, it's so good. Cedar nut toothpaste.
I call myself a philobibliac.
Whatever you want to call it. I don't even know. But they must be fucking going hard over there.